Hey everybody, it's CinnCin and we're back for another episode of CinnCin Goes SyFy. And tonight, okay, we got back-to-back Fran stuff, and the movie tonight is going to be Jason and the Argonauts. Yes, Fran and I are staying in our childhood movies. And so we went from one, yes, Queen of Outer Space to Jason and the Argonauts, but this is a serious movie. And if you forgot how good this movie was, here's a little taste.
Now, from the makers of Sinbad, Columbia Pictures presents Jason and the Argonauts. The mightiest band of warriors the world has ever known.
Turn back, Jason! We're trapped!
Sailing to the ends of the earth, battling against an incredible number of obstacles.
Where will you find this miracle? I have heard there is a tree at the end of the world, with a fleece of gold hanging in its branches.
In search of the fabulous magic Golden Fleece, Jason and the Argonauts, caught in the clutches of the towering bronze giant Talos, battered by treacherous falling rocks, taming vulturous harpies, facing the dreaded seven-headed Hydra, battling the merciless army of skeletons. Jason and the Argonauts, the classic story of Jason, a man who challenged the gods. Medea, a temple dancer who betrayed a kingdom for love. The Argonauts, the mightiest band of warriors the world has ever known. Jason and the Argonauts, a classic adventure story, brought to the screen through the incredible special effects magic of Dinorama. Jason and the Argonauts, the search that became a legend.
Buddy. Okay. And so here we go with my, I don't know how we weren't friends back when we were little. So my guest tonight is the only one who knows every single movie I know. Sci-fi sister Fran Taylor.
Hi.
She knows the movies I don't know. Fran, you are here back to back. Thank you so much for coming in and doing this with me. This is a special request from one of our chatters, Joel, who asked if we would just go and talk about a movie made by Ray Harryhausen. And so we both, right after that, I just looked at you. We both went, Jason and the Argonauts. From 1963, this is one of my favorite films. And I know you, like me, saw this with your brother. Right?
Of course. Yes. This was his favorite movie. This was his favorite movie to look at. And when he looked at it, I looked at it. So
right.
We love Jason.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is a lot of people's favorite movie. So just to give you a little background on what it is about, it's from 1963. And please don't let that trailer fool you about the quality of the film that you can see now, because you can see this on Tubi for free and the print is pristine. That particular trailer was trash, and I'm so sorry, but this movie gets a 7.3 on IMDb, which is pretty high for what a lot of people might think it's a kid film or a film made for kids. No, it is not. This is made by Columbia Studios, and the director is Don Chaffee, who's a very interesting guy. He didn't make a lot of, I guess what you would call huge or standout movies, but he filmed the gamut. He did blaxploitation. He did American TV. He's British. He did a lot of British films, and this is probably the film he is best known for, Jason and the Argonauts. And I think he did a great job with this. And it stars Todd Armstrong, who is American, by the way, and this is a Columbia picture made with a British cast in Greece and starring an American, and also starring Nancy Kovac. There will be a quiz on who Nancy Kovac is in a little bit. Honor Blackman, Nigel Green, and Lawrence Nesmith. Nancy Kovac and Todd Armstrong are both Americans, and believe it or not, their voices are dubbed in this because everyone else is British and their Yankee accents were so strong that they thought it would be distracting. So they dubbed them. I got to think about the Brits. What, really? Nobody was speaking Greek. So I mean, so, all right, whatever. I'm going to let it go. So the original screenplay was by Jan Reed and Beverly Cross, based on an epic Greek poem called the Argonautica, which is an ancient poem that was written by, Apollonius Rhodius. Why would you know that? But I'm here to tell you. And this is like one of these lists, goes on for stanzas and stanzas and stanzas. And somehow they had to get this down to a 90-minute film. And they did it, mostly credited with Beverly Cross was the one that got this film down to the bare bones. So you're going to see, if you're like me or anyone like me who went to a classical high school and actually read Jason and the Argonauts and actually had a freaking translate Jason and the Argonauts. No, we didn't have to translate Jason and the Argonauts. We got it in English. We didn't have to, I didn't take Greek. But if you did have to read this story, you know that this story is definitely, truncated, changed, and different. And she got a lot of criticism for doing that. And I'm going to go through, when we get to certain parts, I'll tell you what part is like, nah, that didn't happen. Nah, that's not right. Because I know that there are people watching from Girls Latin School and Boston Latin School, and they will not allow me to let you know this wrong information over here. Okay. So, all right, Wolfpack, all right, Jabberwocks, hey, you know what? I'm going to correct this shit. So, so when the movie came out in 1963, it came out to, with a budget of $2 million. It made 3. And they were a bit disappointed because Columbia really put some money into this movie. And they got, Ray Harryhausen, who was at the time the man doing stop motion. And this, when you just saw the trailer, they called it dynamism, which was also a thing that he invented, where live actors could actually be on the same screen with the stop motion characters. So before that, you just had the stop motion character doing something, and then you would cut to the live action. But when we get to that big fight at the end with the skeletons, oh, we're in it. We're in it to win it. And it's like, oh my God, that is the one. So, Fran, what is your favorite part about this movie? Is it the myth? Is it the action? Is it the acting? It can't be the acting.
No, it's not the acting. It's the action and the special effects. Because remember now, this was 1963. And these special effects are fantastic. They are like mesmerizing for 1963. I know most of you all weren't even born in 1963. However, these special effects were top notch. So yeah. I really, the Neptune thing, and I just, it's just top notch action, kicking skeletons where their butts were supposed to be, literally kicking ass of a skeleton that didn't have an ass. Okay,
he just had those tailbones.
The tailbone sticking out. Like, I'm like, look at the tailbone. Jason kicked one in the tailbone. His ass was supposed to be there, right? But
right. Never mind. It just had them grins on those. Oh my God, those things scared the bejesus out of me.
Oh, when they came out of the ground, it's like, oh gosh, what is this? And they came out with shields. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We're getting way ahead because that is the scene. But so I'm going to go back to something I said in the previous episode that we did on Queen of Outer Space, that Columbia Studios was on Poverty Row for a while, and it was one of the lower tiered studios. But when this movie came out in 1963, they had already vaulted up to major studios. So that's why you see this great production. I mean, they went to one of Hera's temples to film the scene where Hermes grows taller and they're going to take Jason to Olympus. They were really at the temple. I'm like, oh my God, this is not a backdrop. They are not, this isn't a fake stage. They're at the temple. So they this was a lot of,
when they did that,
go ahead.
Sorry. What did that remind you? Did that remind you of anything when they did that scene? Come on, you gotta know what it reminded you of.
This is one of my first Star Trek Easter eggs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was thinking of Who Mourns for Adonias when my
Yes,
boy when my
that
boy grew up.
when he grew
Uh,
up, I'm like, oh,
da-da-da.
man. And he grew up. I'm like, oh, that's from TOS. Look at that. And it looked just like, I'm like,
It
okay,
was
I
just
wonder
like
did
in
it
TOS.
was just like it. I'm like, I wonder did they see this? Did they go back and look at this? Because this is
Oh, for sure, for
too
sure.
similar. It had to be. They took it. It's right there. They lifted it from there.
There was even a line that Jason later says that was very much about that same episode because in that episode the Greek gods have all disappeared and he's like the last one holding on and he's got the Enterprise and he wants to
Yes.
make them,
Yes.
worship him. And
Mm-hmm.
Jason is like not hearing anything Zeus has got to say in this one,
Mm-mm.
which I thought, when I watched this movie again here, like, I hadn't seen it for a few decades. I
Wow.
don't think I've seen it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen it for a while. And I was surprised at how deep it was really because
Mm-hmm.
Jason is not feeling Zeus at all. And why
Oh.
would he? First of all, you killed my dad. Second of
Mm-hmm.
all, I have lost my throne because of you. Third, you wrecked my country. Why would I why would I want
Listen,
to do anything you're saying? It's all because of you that I'm in this situation.
that's right.
So Zeus says later, when man stops believing in the gods, that's when we'll disappear. And that's
Mm-hmm.
almost exactly what Idonias says to Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
says they all stopped believing in us and everybody just went into the heavens. And I was like, oh my God, somebody saw Jason in the
They
Argonaut.
had to. They had to. So I'm like, okay.
I got a couple of other there's one really huge Star Trek Easter egg in this, but it always comes back to Star Trek.
You
But
know, that's it. That's just it.
come on, come on. Especially if you're gonna do like Greek myth. So
Yes.
I love this. So anyway, yeah. So Columbia Pictures now is a big shot in this world, and I think when you watch the first opening credits of Jason and the Argonauts, this is not your, Italian. We're dubbing everything, cheap production.
Steve
No,
Reed.
right? No, it is not because we come right out with the music by Bernard Herrmann. Bernard Herrmann is one of the top musical scorers there. They are using the British Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. I'm like, okay, spare no expense for the score. And then they have the most beautiful ancient Greek urns as the background for the opening shots of the
Mm-hmm.
story of Jason and Medea, which is different from the story in the movie. And Medea knew Jason way before he got to her in Colchis, but we ain't gonna go there. But that's for my wolf pack and Jabberwocks. So Boston Latin is the wolf pack, the Jabberwocks are girls Latin. So I was mesmerized just from the beginning of the movie, the swelling of that orchestra, and then that ancient Greek urn, which was the red clay urn with the black print. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they're going back way, way back. That is the ancient for real shit. So I was really, and then they have that one scene where you have the man standing there in that traditional
The helmet.
helmet. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Silhouetted in the whole big. I was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all right. I was like, get the popcorn. Where are we going? So
Bernard Hellman did nine Alfred Hitchcock movies.
yes,
Okay, and he scored for The Twilight Zone.
yes, and he scored for Citizen Kane.
Yes,
Yes, yes. So Bernard Herrmann is not okay. So one of the things about Bernard Herrmann, which makes him so different from other musical scorers, if you want to say that, and
mm-hmm.
I got this because I actually took a course on musical scoring at Berklee School of Music. And just so you know, anyone can audit a course at Berklee School of Music if you want to. So, I mean, why wouldn't I do film scoring? Because it's not free, but you can audit it. So, anyway, I did that and learned that Bernard Herrmann was known for changing the way Hollywood scored films. And Fran hit it. One of his favorite creatives to work with was Alfred Hitchcock. And the film that you can remember Bernard Herrmann's very different way of doing things. He was known for sharp, repetitive patterns. Dun, 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 Psycho. North by Northwest, yes. Vertigo, all the music, the birds, that is all Bernard Herrmann. And he doesn't use like, sometimes he won't even use the whole orchestra. He did one movie and all he used were harps to get this particular sound that he wanted. So the fact that he's doing Jason and the Argonauts with the entire Philharmonic means he wanted that crescendo, big, epic sound. He really wanted it. And this is more of a classic soundtrack for him, which he could do. He's like, oh, you want classic? Let me get the Philharmonic. I'll show you classic. And then he goes, oh, you want some wild shit with Psycho? Oh, let me show you some repetitive.
Violins only. For each stab. Okay.
Ooh. And it's called ostinati. That is the term for using those quick repetitive verses over and over again. Ostinati. That's the musical term. Anyway, just so you know. But listen to the music in this. And he also helped Ray Harryhausen with the sound. So when you get to the island where Talos is, and that sound that he makes of the metal, moving and crunching when he starts to move, he takes out the music. And you're hearing metallic. I mean, they worked on that together. I'm like, oh yeah, Bernard, he did. What did you say? 9 movies with Hitchcock?
9 movies with him.
And he did like 5 movies with Harryhausen.
Okay.
Yeah, he did Journey to the Center of the Earth. He did the travels of the 3 trips of Gulliver. He did so all of this music that you're hearing and all the crazy stuff that you're hearing in any of the movies with the stop action. I mean, Bernard was there for all of it. He was like, oh yeah, this is my guy. He loved this kind of different stuff.
Bernie was a man.
He was.
Bernie was a man.
Yes. And so we were talking about the fact that Columbia Pictures was now in the majors. And just so you know, it came out of Poverty Row and made it to the second tier, which would have been like Universal, United Artists, by making all those reels that we saw before, the Bowery Boys and all that stuff. But in 1927, they hired, are you ready for this, friend? Frank Capra.
Who?
Boom. Columbia made the wise decision to hire Frank Capra, and Frank Capra pushed for better scripts and better, productions. And, the Coen brothers were like, they were known as being so cheap because it was called CBC Studios, and people called it, corned beef and cabbage. They were so cheap over there. But, Frank Capra pushed them to making better films and eventually made It Happened One Night, which put them on the map and is one of 3 movies that has won all 5 of the major awards: Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, Best Screenplay. Happened One Night, Frank Capra, Columbia Studios, and now it was in the big time. That was 1939.
Did he do It's a Wonderful Life? Did he do that? That wasn't him? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Frank Capra? Somebody in the chat, let us know.
Yeah, let us
saying yes, he did.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I thought so. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he does. And so he put Columbia up in the major studio. So now when we get to 1963, Columbia got money. And now they're going off and they're doing locations. Okay, I got another tidbit for you. So the beach where the Argonauts go, and well, okay, I'm skipping. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay. The whole plot. We have not told people the plot. If you don't know the plot of Jason and the Argonauts, the plot is basically this man, Jason, has had his kingdom taken from him by prophecy by this asshole named Goliath.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So he goes and Hermes tells him, okay, yeah, you're gonna fight these guys in Thessaly and you're gonna win tonight and you're gonna take over this kingdom, but the son of the man you're gonna kill tonight is going to take it back. Now, you got the kingdom for pretty much the rest of your life. But that's just not enough. So he says, well, if that's the case, then, Aristo will have no children. So he's going to kill all the kids so that this prophecy, the second half of the prophecy, doesn't come to life. And Hermes he's not hearing this because he heard that and he was like, first of all, you're like forcing me to give you the prophecy. Like, I don't want to hear about this. I just want to hear about the night. I don't want to hear about the ends of the earth and the tree and everything. I don't care what happens. What's going to happen tonight? My boy was like, wait, no, I am the dream bringer. Just wait. I'm trying to tell you what the prophecy is. So anyway, so they go. He knows he's going to win this battle, and he knows he's going to go in there and kill all of this king's kids.
And that's
But
something.
go kill and one was grown, Breesus, and the other two were babies. Jason and his other looked like a twin sister. Yeah, yeah, Philomena. So anyway, the war goes on, the battle goes on. Hermes is not having it. He tells one of the soldiers to get the baby and take the baby away. He also holds back all of his men, Perilous' men, and when he goes into that temple to go kill the girl, he's over there by himself. Hermes like, if you're gonna do this, I'm not sending anybody in there with you. You have to do this yourself, because Zeus didn't say all this shit. He said you could have the king. He said nothing about killing the kids.
That sure did. I ain't said a word about you killing nobody. I mean, killing children and stuff. But no, you go ahead. You go right ahead.
Go ahead. And he kills the woman. The woman is praying at the feet of Hera. She's praying for protection. And she gets knifed in the back by this man. And Hera's not having this. Hera's like, oh, hell no, not today. You just profaned my temple. Here she comes now. I was like, oh, this is just getting good. I mean, everybody's in this. And Hera's mad at Zeus. How'd you let this happen? This man is in here killing the children and profaning my temple. Nah. And
I like big face Hera.
Huh?
I said big face Hera.
Oh God. The statues of Hera. Hera needed to come down and get somebody to, do something a little better. But she looked weird in every one of the statues. But she was called upon, because I thought it was very interesting when Zeus said, this is men's work, basically, to help Jason. He didn't care anything about the women. And Breesus knew, I'm not even going to ask Zeus to protect me. I'm going straight to Hera, because I guess only the goddesses are going to protect women, because the gods don't care nothing about the women. So she goes to Hera, and Hera is going to protect her. But here comes, Peleus, and he stabs the girl in the back right in front of the thing. And Hera's not having it. So Hera goes back, then we cut, really, because now, all right, everything's done. This guy gets the kingdom. And then he runs it into the ground.
Yeah.
Like, what is with that?
Because he's an ass.
He's a total ass. Like, from the very beginning, this guy is an ass. So I don't even know why Zeus gave him the kingdom anyway. It was like, the man's an ass. Why'd you give him the kingdom? Maybe that's why he said, I'll take it back at the end. I don't know. I was like, Zeus, I got problems with you from the get-go in this one. I don't know why you even talking to this man. Because he believed in Zeus. He believed in Zeus. He was one of the ones that believed in Zeus. So he was like, yeah, if you believed in Zeus, he'd give you any stupid thing you asked for.
If you believe in him. Yeah.
He's such a man.
Yes. Okay. I'm not going to comment on that.
Oh my God. I was just like too done with Zeus. And so even Hera was done with him. She loves him. But Hera goes, she said, if you would ever give a prophecy that was exact and precise, we wouldn't be in all this trouble. Why didn't you just say that the male child was going to be the one, and then the other two girls wouldn't have been in trouble in the first place? So like you and your anyway. So Hera's having it out with him, and she whittles out of him that she's going to get five times that she can help Jason. Right? Because Zeus is like, no, you shouldn't be helping any men do anything, and she's like, look. Let me just help Jason, because that wasn't right that girl got stabbed in my temple.
That's right.
I was protecting her.
He called on. Yeah. He called on me five. No, she called on me five times. So I'm gonna help Jason. He has 5 times to be helped by me.
Yeah.
So he reluctantly agreed to that. Zeus did.
Yeah.
He reluctantly agreed to that.
All right, Hera. Okay, I want to hear this all night. They're like playing chess on the board with all these humans and ships and everything. They're just playing with people, just intervening in everything. Just a mess. And just got nothing else to do but stay up there in Mount Olympus and mess with people. So so now Jason is going to grow up 20 years later. He's a grown man, and he knows his whole story. It's not like he doesn't know he is the
he's the real king.
Yeah, he
Air.
knows exactly who he is. Which I thought was interesting that he grew up knowing that he had lost his throne and how he lost it and why and everything. So he's like, all right, time to find this man and take my throne back. And the thing I loved about Jason is that he wasn't one of these people that just believed in Zeus. In fact, he doesn't believe in any of the gods. And why would he? He's like, y'all are just trifling.
Look at his life. Okay?
I'm like out here exiled and messed because somebody had a whim and you just gave it to him. So I don't believe in anything y'all got to say. So he's like, no, I don't believe in. Forget it. What gods? You're not doing anything good for me. So he hears about the fleece and he wants to go and get it because he has to get it to get
The
his throne
golden
back.
fleece.
The
The
golden
golden.
fleece,
Yes.
which he has to get. But the reason that he wanted it also not just to get his throne back, but to repair the damage that had been done to his kingdom and to show them that the gods still believed in them, that the gods were still there for them. So he was actually doing something that was really very ethically. I thought that was really cool. It wasn't just like everybody else had a selfish reason for getting whatever it was that they wanted. But he was like, no, I need this fleece for my people. I need this fleece to repair the damage that Peleus has done, not Peleus, Pelias has done to my country. It's ravaged, it's starving, and the fleece will bring back peace and prosperity. And I was like, oh, well, okay. All right, Jason, go ahead. I mean, it's not just like, I'm going to kill you because you killed my daddy.
Okay. Okay, cutie pie.
And he was cute.
Yeah,
Everybody
he
thought
was cute. Yeah, Jason was cutie pie.
So here he goes now on the quest. He just doesn't know where this fleece is.
Okay, before we get to the quest, so he goes on the quest. Tell them about one of the people. One of the he was half of a. His dad was a god. His mom was human. You know your boy. Everybody knows him. Hercules.
Hercules. I can't hear anything else when I say that name now.
I know. Hercules.
Although I do remember the theme song from the cartoon, Hercules. Only the evil fear him, Hercules. I mean, I love me some Hercules.
Yeah. So
but yes,
the crew.
One of the Argonauts, Hercules. And okay, here I am correcting, whatever. Hercules is actually the Roman name for him. I don't know why. They used it because that is a name that most people remember him by. His name in Greece is Heracles, but they weren't going to call him Heracles.
I've heard that name before.
Yes, you have, because that is, I don't know, they used all the Greek names for everybody else except Hercules, but he was really Heracles. And I just, all right, Jabbies and Wolfpack. All right, that's another one I had to straighten out.
Okay, thank you.
Because we had to read them both. So, yes. So I love the idea that he tells Zeus, no, I don't need your help getting the crew. I don't need your help getting the boat. He said, I don't need your help. I was like, whoa.
I got a boat and I can get a crew. Sure did. Just like that.
I don't need nothing from you. So he holds these games, which is like a whole big chapter in the, the Argonautica, the actual poem, like the games that he held to get the best men to be his crew. And he said, then I don't need to tell him anything except that we're going to do this because this is the greatest adventure and we're going to, free the land of all this these ruffians. That's all I got to tell him. I don't need gold. They're going to come just because they're going to be on the good foot. And I was like, okay. Everybody comes running. They come running. They want to be in this crew. They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to fight whoever. What I got to do? And so they all get named. And in the original epic, they all have their stories and everything. And so I do have to talk about Heracles, otherwise known as Hercules, and Halus, who they meet at the game to get on the ship. Halus said, if I can beat Hercules, even though I got here late, I'll get on here. Okay, that didn't happen like that.
Oh, it didn't? Okay.
No, Hercules knew Halus before they got to the Argonauts. And Hercules had killed Helios's father in a duel. Helios was just a boy. And so Hercules took him in as his weapon bearer and servant. And later, Helios becomes Hercules's lover.
Okay.
So that is the true story of
Okay.
Hercules and
These
Helios.
are Greeks. Okay, so I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
So they take the gayness out of the story, because they gotta do this in 1963.
It's
But
1963.
yeah, but if you watch the film and you see why Hercules is so distraught after what happens to Helios, this is why. And in the original epic poem, Helios doesn't die the way he dies in this. The nymphs, the water nymphs, actually either lured him away or they kidnapped, or he went with them. We never know which way it went, whether he went willingly or not. But he was renowned for his beauty. Helios was like the most beautiful boy anybody had ever seen, and
Mm,
Hercules had just fallen for him, and it was over.
mhm.
So, and so did the nymphs. The nymphs saw him sleeping by the river, and that was the end of that. Hercules never found him, never saw him again, and mourned for him forever until he met somebody else. Because Herc can't go long without anybody. So yes, he is the son. Hercules is the son of Zeus,
Mhm. Mhm.
and so everybody was happy, thinking like, oh, we got some Zeus action on the Argonauts with us, but Hercules is the one that's gonna get you all in trouble because it's
That's
just like
right.
his father. He's just like his freaking father. He won't listen to nobody.
Hmm.
So when they get to the first obstacle they have to get over is the harpies, right?
No, Isle of the Bronze is the
Isle
first
of
one.
Bronze is the first one.
The
Okay.
Harpies are the one with
Oh
the
yeah,
blind
that's
guy.
that's
Yeah,
after. That's after.
yeah, that's
Okay.
after.
So Hera, in one of the 5 things that she's going to tell him. Now, they don't tell Jason that he already wasted 5 because Hera introduced him to Peleus when she pulled him in the water. And Zeus says, "Well, that was one of your 5." I was like, "Oh, how you counting that? That's not
Huh,
right." Anyway, so he's only really got 4 helps left. So he asked Hera, "Where do I go? I got the ship, I got the guys. Where am I going?"
huh,
And
yeah.
she says, "Go to the island of the foundry where, Hephaestus had forged all of the statues of the gods.
Oh God.
No
Uh-huh.
one is supposed to go there. Like no humans are supposed to go to this island, but she's going to give him a pass to go to the island." And she said they needed food and water. She said, "Go to the island, get the food and water. I'll let you go there, but don't take anything else." Simple enough.
I, you know,
Sounds like a plan to me.
me too. I mean, I'm giving you this information, but there's one thing you have to follow, and he relays that to his guys. We only take food and water.
Don't
Of
take
course,
anything else.
Hercules was like, well, if there any full bosom women and this is strong, any women, if it's any women there,
I'm
of course,
taking one of them.
it's
I'm like, Herc,
1963, so he had to mention full bosom woman. So they get to the island and
they see
they find,
Talos.
hmm,
They see the
yeah,
statue
they
of
see all these statues and stuff and Talos, and of course, Herc and his buddy go into the underneath Talos.
not only not looking for food and water,
Because
but
they
pry the
had
door open.
stuff.
The door was a little bit open, but Herc goes in there. Let me see what's in here. Like, this is like, listen, dude, don't be going in there. Look, all we got to do is get the food and water and skedaddle because we're not even supposed to be on this island.
Hmm.
So no, Herc gonna go in there. They see all these jewels. This is like Talos's,
I
that.
mean, pearls as big as your head.
Or what did you think of when you saw that?
What the pearls
Yeah,
with the it was something there was everything was so big and
I thought of the Devil in the Dark. They look like the eggs from the Devil in the Dark.
oh they did. They did. Oh,
I
perfectly
saw
well.
Star Trek all over this movie.
Yes,
I
yes.
was like, oh no, they got hoarder eggs in there. What's going on?
All in look like a part of a chariot.
Diamonds.
Chariot
Oh man, just stuff everywhere. So my boy's
everywhere,
gonna.
hanging and sitting, and so of course they don't do what they're supposed to do. But his friend
Alias tells him, don't take it.
don't. He said not to. Oh, they're not gonna miss this. And he takes. To me, it
Girl.
looked like a big needle. It looked like a huge needle to me.
He
And
said,
I'm
dude,
like, They told y'all not to take anything. Oh, they won't miss it. Okay, so they take, and the door shut on them. And of course, Herc spit in his hands. And he going, so he, of course, opened the door because, he Herc.
He's Hercules, hey.
Yeah, he gets the door open and comes out with the great big needle that he says can be used as a javelin. This thing they told you not to bother with. They told your crazy ass that don't take anything but food and water. They won't miss it. Famous last words. Okay, there we go.
Stop messing with Rusty Butt. Yes.
Here we go.
My boy Talos takes, it was one of those slowly I turn.
Yeah, he turns around. Oh, you done took some stuff. He was rusty. He was rusty. His behind was totally rusty. That's why they got all that noise from. But he turned his head like, oh, you don't believe, what stink, right? Oh, let me show you something. I got
my God. And that noise, here we go. Bernard Herrmann and Harry and Ray Harryhausen making that incredible, just metallic sound of Talos coming off of that pedestal. I was like, y'all are in trouble. I've never seen white men run like that in my life in any movie.
With their mouths open. First they're standing there with their mouths open. Like, WTF.
Screaming, running like I don't know what to go where, I don't know, because it's like y'all are dead. You're dead meat. Talos is just like, and number 4 or 5. Talos 4. I was just like, Talos.
Okay.
Place you're forbidden to go.
You cannot on the death penalty.
Nope. Yeah. There's a little Star Trek Easter egg, but I was like, oh, I wonder if they named that planet after this Talos. So Talos is coming. He's coming for him, and my boy's got the sword. And Ray Harryhausen said one of his favorite things was the ancient wonder of the world, the Colossus of Rhodes. And of course, it has since, been destroyed and it's no longer there, but we know of it. And the Colossus of Rhodes straddled this small bay. And so he wanted this bronze man to remind everybody of the Colossus of Rhodes. So when he stands over the ship,
that would look like that. Yeah.
That is what he is doing. Like, 7 wonders of the ancient world. Go on, Ray Harryhausen. All right. So, he
did look like that. Yeah.
He just picked up the whole Argo and just throwing it around like.
Picked up the whole ship.
Knocked everybody off of it, broke it up. Hera's head came off. I was like, oh, Lord, what is going on?
Hera was out floating in the water.
Whole ship is just done. Everybody's screaming. And they don't know what to do. So they swim back to land. They're like, oh, yeah, the ship is gone. They swim back to land now. Talos is just like, yeah, okay, let me go get all. I felt like they were on the Isle of Misbegotten Toys or whatever. They were like, they were dead with the Cyclops. It was like one of those moments where you're like, you got to get out of here. They're running and running. They're trying to get up the rocks. They're trying to go everywhere. And Talos is just like, and he asked Hera how to destroy Talos, right?
Jason did.
Jason did. Sorry. The second help or the third help. This is the third help.
Third, yeah.
And she tells him to look at his ankle. That's all he had to hear. That's all he had to hear. It's like, look at his ankle. Look at his ankle. Look at his ankle.
But figuratively, it was an Achilles heel.
He had an Achilles heel.
Literally, he also had an Achilles heel.
And Jason goes, and while he's fighting all the guys, and it was funny because Talos is like, what's on my foot? What's on my foot?
What is this? What is this net doing down here? Let me get this. He kept looking back. And
like if you're standing up, you can't really see what's at the back of your heel. You're like, what is that?
What's going on back there? So
and Jason is like trying to move this thing. I'm like, come on, Jason, come on, you need
Get it,
Hercules.
get it.
He gets it, and then outpours, and it's called ichor.
Is that what was that supposed to be though?
It's the elixir
Like
or the
blood or
blood
something?
of the gods.
Okay.
It's god blood.
That brought him to life when
Yes,
they
right.
did what they did. Yeah.
And his it's Ichor,
Okay.
ichor, and that's what flowed out of Talos. And I felt bad because my boy he wasn't doing anything. You guys
No,
came to his island, you stole his
yeah.
shit. Like what the hell? So he
He
went
was
to teach you a
standing
lesson.
guard. Like he was literally guarding the stuff.
And stuff. And you
Yeah.
go in there and take it.
Mm-hmm.
You did. You did to me. You did to me. You're Fredo. You're Fredo. So yeah, so that happens, and then they so Talos collapses and falls right now. Okay, Halus tells Hercules, leave the thing there, don't take it. So now the
Mm-hmm.
fool Hercules dropped it when they were running. They were all running so fast. Hercules even dropped his shit. They were
Mm-hmm.
all pell
Gone
mell
by
running
this
out of
big
there.
gone because he couldn't run and handle that big needle either. So
Right. So Halus,
drop.
like a fool, goes back to get it for his boy, and Talos's body falls on top of him, and that was the end of it. He was
That was it. They were done. They were done.
he was like, ah! They had some of the best screaming in this.
Didn't they? There was
I
some
like
screaming white men, weren't they?
screaming and running. Oh my god. Okay, I'll tell you a movie where we see this beach again. If
Okay.
you remember Wonder Woman, when the Germans come and they come to get Gal Gadot and all the Wonder Women people, they have that fight
Mm-hmm.
on the beach. That is the same
Mm-hmm.
beach. That is the same beach.
Really?
That is the same beach. Yes.
Okay.
They
Okay.
went back there and did that again. So I love that they did that. So we mentioned Ray Harryhausen. I always call him Harryhausen. His name is Ray Harryhausen,
Mm-hmm.
and he is the king of stop motion action, stop motion animation. And like I said, he stop motion animation started in like 1906, and it was invented by or patented by at least a man called James Stewart Blackton in 1906, and he actually worked with Thomas Edison on some of his short films, and they
Mm.
used the stop motion. Yes, that's how far back it goes. And they were kind of doing their little, herky jerky things with the stop motion, and it was patented and everything. But it wasn't until um, I think it's Willis O'Brien comes in 1933 and shocks the whole world with 3D stop motion for the greatest movie probably made up until that time, King Kong. And when people see King Kong's 3D stop motion,
Oh.
they lose their ever loving mind. This movie made more money. They could not believe it. And, King Kong on the whole thing, all stop motion. And this is done by Willis O'Brien and 1933. And that was it. Stop motion was now, wait a minute. Okay, this is really not this kind of crazy thing that, we could use it maybe here, use it maybe there. Now they were like, oh, this whole movie, the whole main character is stop motion. And it's like a huge movie. So a little later in 1940, Willis O'Brien comes back and makes the movie Mighty Joe Young.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that was another one me and my brother liked. Yeah,
Yes.
Mike Still Young.
And his assistant on that film is Ray Harryhausen.
Oh, okay.
So
All
he
right.
cut his teeth on Mighty Joe Young, which was nominated for an Oscar. And
Okay.
they were going to nominate King Kong. I believe they were not nominated for an Oscar for Best Visual Effects. And Willis O'Brien said, if you don't give it to every single one of the people in the art department, then I'm not going to take it. And they were like, well, we ain't giving out 19 Oscars. So, they took it off. And when it came up again for Mighty Joe Young, he just kept his mouth shut and took the nomination.
Okay.
So just be quiet, Mr. O'Brien. But anyway, Ray Harryhausen learned at the foot of that man that did 3D stop motion for two of the greatest movies with stop motion in all time. I think there's a lot of stop motion pictures like Nightmare Before what the one Tim Burton did that one, Coraline. There's a lot of stop motion. Gumby, the TV shows, they were like claymation. So a lot of people like did this afterwards, but Willis O'Brien in those two films, that was it. And then Ray Harryhausen, this is like the pinnacle. And now we have not just 3D, we have dynamism, which is you saw in the trailer. And so Harry figured out a way to shoot the live action and then shoot the 3D stop motion and put them together on the same screen. So it looks like they're actually interacting
with. Mm-hmm.
And it was a huge, long process where they had to do this matte stuff. They had one camera here, one camera there. They had like the background projector, all this. Like I saw the diagram of how we did this, and I'm like, wow, 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 wow. So when you watch that scene with the harpies and you have the blind man trying to get his food, he's being tortured. Zeus left him there, and so he would be like the guy said something about Zeus. And Zeus had him being tortured by the harpies every night. The harpies would come and
every night would come and take his food and stuff because he couldn't see. He was blind. Zeus was an ass.
Zeus was an ass. He really was. That man playing that part is actually one of the future Doctor Who's. So I know there's some people here. Yes, he plays Doctor Who later on. I forget which number Who, but that man he's one of the doctors. Yes.
Okay.
Is it just the doctor? Anyway, so yes, Phineas is interacting with the harpies. He's actually trying to get
trying to get them.
Yeah, so those are the first. That's the next one. So we have Talos, and then we have the harpies, and they are just shrieking and carrying on. And I love that when I loved when the Argonauts came out and they had their armor on.
They had just changed clothes.
Like, they got armor.
They changed clothes.
They changed clothes.
They did.
They came out there looking like some Greek army. I said, we're meaning business now. All right. He was dressed up. They came after those harpies like, okay, yeah, we got a plan. We got a plan.
For you. We got something for you. Something up. Come on. We got something for you. And they did their job. And then the man told them, because the guy, that's when she told him see the guy, ask the guy. So I think that was the last one of her favors she could do, wasn't it? Wasn't that like the last one?
Because Jason was burning through the favors. I said, like, I didn't know why he had to ask Hera, should we wait for Hercules? Let him come. Because Hercules was like, I'm not coming back with you guys. I'm going to look for Helios. That's what he said. And then everybody was like, no, we can't lose Hercules. I was like, why? He's the one that got you in all this damn trouble in the first place. Let him go. And then he's going to burn a help and ask Hera if they should go without Hercules. I was like, yes, you don't need to ask her. You don't need to ask her anything. But he burned the last one. So no, he's got no more ass with Hera. He's got to figure this out himself.
Yeah, he got to figure out this stuff. The guy told him where he had to go and get the Golden Fleece.
Yeah.
Told him exactly what
he gave him his necklace. He said, all I have is this. And it's the necklace of Titan or whoever it was, the sea god. We're like, oh, well, this means something. So, okay. That was a great scene. They go into that was supposed to be the Bosphorus Straits, the clashing ridges. So there's a part of when the Aegean Sea meets with the Black Sea. So they're going to the ends of the earth, which is really like Southwest Asia. They are going to what is now known as Georgia when they say they're going to Proclus. That, as far as they knew, that was the end of the earth. And there's this one part where those two seas meet where the tides are so bad because the seas are like, coming through in this little strait, and that was the Strait of Bosphorus, and that's where they now call that the crashing rock. So they got to go back. And so in the poem, Jason sends a bird first, and once the rocks come and close and everything and open again, they know now they can shoot through, and that's how they got through in the other one. But this one, we got a even better. We got a whole god coming out of the water. Oh my God!
Oh, Neptune, one of my favorite gods. Neptune, ocean. We have a Neptune
fins and everything. Fins and everything. He's got.
Neptune was like, he stood there and he was holding the rocks. He said, come on, I got you. Come on. The man had fins. That's how I knew he was Neptune, because
he had
his
fins.
tail.
And Argos and Jason are like, pull till your backs break. They are rowing for all their worth, trying to get through this strait. It was like the best. I was like, I think we see something like that again in Lord of the Rings. We see that again, like a kind of
I never saw any of those movies.
a mountain closing again. But yeah, but that was one of my favorite scenes because they really did, because they saw the other ship go down. The ship was coming.
Ship sure did.
That ship went down. And that's when we find Medea.
Medea
is washed, she's in the water and they save her.
And they get her and they save her because she was on the first ship that got destroyed.
It got destroyed.
But Neptune helped them. I don't know why. Why did Neptune? I'm trying to figure out how did he know to help that ship? Neptune.
Because Jason had the necklace.
Okay.
Jason had the necklace and threw it in. And he knew he came to help Jason. He came to help Jason because he had the necklace. So they get Medea, and now here comes trouble. She's from Colchis, the place where it has the fleece. She's also the daughter of the king, the guy that's got the fleece. And now, Jason, he's telling everybody who he is. So, what are you doing? I'm going to go get the fleece. So she's like, oh my God, Jason, can you keep your mouth shut for 1 minute?
Telling all your business.
Oh my God.
All your business.
So stupid.
You don't know who these people are.
No, you don't know who anybody is, but you're telling everybody you're the dethroned king and you're going to get the fleece and you're going to come back and do some shit. I'm like, okay, who else needs to know it? So Medea now knows that this guy's coming to kill her father. But she thinks that, this guy, Jason's good looking anyway, so she's done.
Yeah.
She's done. And now who is Medea? We got another big Star Trek Easter egg here. Do you not recognize Medea?
She was, oh my gosh. I'm seeing her face.
Come on, friend.
Wait a minute. I'm seeing her face. I can just see the face, but I can't remember whatever. It was TOS. I know that.
TOS. Mugatu Bite.
She was that bitch.
She was Nona. She was Nona in the Private Little War. That is Nancy Kovac.
Okay, she was the one. Oh yes, she was the one that
scheming in TOS, scheming in Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, she schemed.
Don't trust this woman.
Oh my gosh, she just knew. Oh yeah, now. Oh gosh, I couldn't stand her in TOS. You bitch. Okay, so
I could not believe it because I was watching this and I don't know. Like I said, I never connected that dot before, and I said, "That's Nona from Star Trek." And she's like the priestess now, and she's doing the dance, and Jason is losing his mind, and it's just the thing. They are done. And so so we got to get to unfortunately, we got to get to the end of this, but
we do.
The big scene, the scene.
Scene.
Well, first we have the scene with the Hydra.
Jason the 9-headed, was it 7 or 9 heads?
7.
7 heads. Okay.
7-headed serpent guarding the freaking fleece, which is golden, and it is the ram's head, and it looked beautiful. And it is just hanging there in the tree. But they got these hydras. And Ray Harryhausen said he was so sorry that he designed these hydras. He didn't know what to do because he worked alone. He did all the stop motion by himself. And so he said he had to remember where each one of the heads was in each scene and where, the guys were going to come with the sword. He said it took so long to do these hydras. He did not know whether he was coming or going. He said if the phone rang and he had to leave the room to do something, it was just like a waste of a day. And it took him a whole day to do a half second.
Isn't that something?
So these scenes took forever. For freaking ever for him to do. By himself in his studio, moving
them each head.
Wow. So this is where the goes down. I don't even know why Jason took Acoustus on the trip with him, because he should have known he's the son of the king of Thessaly. Why are you taking him with you?
That's when he found out. Yeah.
Yep. He through the whole thing he was saying like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure you get it. He was not even hiding who he was. He was like, I'm just here, so when you get the fleece, I'm gonna take it. Because if he didn't kill Jason, he was gonna lose the throne. He was the next in line.
Yes, he was.
So anyway, the Hydra gets his ass. I didn't feel
Yeah.
like
He got,
Jason couldn't even help him.
he got what he deserved. You
He
know,
came. The Hydra came out holding on to him. I look what I got. Look what I got. I was like, oh wow, okay, we're in big trouble here.
bam.
So everybody's out there. Jason goes. Jason is fighting and fighting and fighting, and we have a Harry Potter moment where he just like gets him right in the throat, like Harry got the big snake. And so we like, all right, Jason kills the Hydra, and they're running. They got the fleece, and they're going, and they're running, and the guys are chasing after them. Medea decides to go with Jason.
Yeah.
Just like Nona was ready to betray whoever had the most guns or whatever. Nona was going to betray. She was going to betray her people, betray her father. She's like, I'm going with this guy because he is cute, and I'm going with him. She goes, well, I got to go with you because I can't stay here. So she's running with him, and the guard, the first arrow they let go was where?
In her back.
In that bitch's back. I was like, that's what you get.
In her back. In her back. And she was laying there because, you know how people fall in, in the 60s and 50s, people fell in love like that. It was instant I love you thing, So she's going to have to
pull her out of the water.
Yeah, he did, but
pull her out of the water.
There's no need to fall in love with somebody, please. But you know how they did back then. I love you. Ooh, I see you. I love you. So she gets it in the back, and they're like, oh no, because she's trying to betray her whole country, as they put it. And then what cure did she get help from the Golden Fleece?
The Golden Fleece. We see it actually bring her back to life.
And
now we're like, okay, you got to get this fleece back to Thessaly.
Yeah. You need,
Don't do nothing. Come on, let's go, Jason. Let's go. So they're running now. Jason is like, he's like, okay, well, they're running from the guys with the arrows. He tells his boys, get Medea and the fleece on the boat. That's all you got to do. And then his other two boys, they stay with him. They turn around, they're gonna fight, and they think they're gonna fight the soldiers.
But it's three of them. It's three of them.
The king says stop, and gets the Hydra's teeth.
Sure
and
did.
throws the teeth in the ground.
Bam! Just throw them out there like that. So he sewed some teeth. Just threw them out on the ground.
And the next thing we know, we hear some Bernard Herrmann music, and these things pop out the ground.
Out of the ground.
I like to lose my little 8-year-old soul.
With shields. With shields.
Swords.
And tailbones hanging out. Tailbones, y'all, because they're skeletons. Oh, we forgot to tell y'all that. They were skeletons.
They were skeletons.
Yeah.
They were skeletons. How are you going to kill a skeleton? How do you kill a skeleton?
Kill a skeleton.
I mean, he cut the skeleton's head off, and he just put his head back on and came in. I was like, oh!
And those grins.
They were just like, ah! They screamed and they went after him, and I was like, oh my God, you guys, what are you going to do? With Polydorus and the other guy, Castor, and Jason. They were fighting like, I don't know. So that whole scene took 4.5 months for them to do, because here is this is dynamism at its greatest right here in this scene, because Jason and the other two guys had to choreograph that entire fight scene with stuntmen. So they had 7 stuntmen who were going to be in the place of the skeletons. And once they memorized every move, swish, sword that they were going to do, the 3 guys did everything without the stuntmen. And then Ray filmed the skeletons without the 3 guys, and then did the mat thing together. And we have that incredible scene.
It is incredible. It is Jason and that scene there, because as I said in the beginning, Jason kicked ass where there was no ass.
Where there was nothing but tailbone.
It was tailbone. He literally kicked ass where there was no ass.
There was no ass.
So I'm like, okay, Jace, I see you. I see what you're doing there. So.
Well, now this film, like I said, it wasn't like particularly well received when it came out, and I do believe I saw this in the movie theater. I remember this is 63, so I would have been like 7 or 8. when this came out, and I would have gone to the theater to see this because I remember seeing this on a very
It's,
big screen and seeing the boat and everything, and just absolutely screaming when those skeletons came out of the ground.
we may
But
have seen it at the Carver. And Carver, we had four black movies on Church Street in Norfolk. And Carver was like the Walmart of all the movies.
yeah,
And so, and it takes a while for the movies to get to the Carver. So we went to the Carver. I'm pretty sure
yeah,
we went to the Carver to see it because I remember
I'm pretty
seeing this
sure
at Carver.
I can remember seeing this on a big screen, and
Yeah,
and seeing like the music and everything, and just I mean, this movie stayed with me for years. I mean, I was terrified.
it was amazing. It was
Oh,
amazing for the
so
60s. It was.
it inspired a lot of people, even though it wasn't the greatest box office success. It became a cult classic pretty
Yes,
quickly, and
yes.
some people say it is the greatest stop motion picture of all time.
I
But
mean, it
some
has to.
people say it's one of the greatest movies of all time. George
Okay.
Lucas said, "Without Ray Harryhausen, there would likely have been no Star Wars."
Okay.
Wow. Tom Hanks says, "Some say Citizen Kane or Casablanca. I say Jason and the Argonauts is the greatest
Hmm.
film ever made."
Isn't that something?
I'm telling you, a lot of people were inspired by this film, and just goes on and on and on. Tim Burton, a lot of people, they were just all
Yeah.
like, "This movie here, oh my god!" So that is the story of Jason and the Argonauts, the great Argo, the ship. Like that ship, I love it because they had all their shields on the side of the ship and Hera's head. And I mean, they were just stroking and stroking. I was like, yeah, baby, I want to be on the Argo, the Argonauts. Yes, loved that film. So, okay, that is like the second of two films that I remember always seeing with my brother Lloyd, who's like,
I looked at it with my brother. We Stephen and the Argonauts coming on. We looked at it. Of course, we looked, and I'm pretty sure we did go to the movie because I remember seeing it in color, and we didn't have a
yeah,
color TV when I was growing
right,
up.
right. I remember seeing it in color. That's right. We didn't get a color TV until much later. So,
Brady
to
Bunch
Star
for
Trek.
us. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
so I think I did see it in the movie theater. You're right.
Mhm.
All right, but now we've been all over this movie, and there's Star Trek everywhere. In fact, it was so easy. It could have been
Everywhere.
so easy. Could have been in 1 degree. We could have got the Star Trek. But where
Mhm.
would be the fun in that? So here we go with our favorite part of the show, where Subrina takes 6 degrees to get to Star Trek. Here we go. Well, as I said, this is almost an all English cast, and poor Todd Armstrong, who plays Jason, is American, and actually suffered a very horrible death. I mean, this is probably the best movie that he ever made that he was known for. And he later became like a builder, contractor, living in the Virgin Islands. He had a really horrific accident while building something, got addicted to painkillers, and later killed himself because of the painkillers. That was the end of Todd Armstrong, who plays Jason in this movie. But we're not going to the first position with Todd Armstrong. We are going to one of the Brits. We are going to Gary Raymond, who plays the treacherous, traitorous Acoustus, who is the son of the guy that took out Jason's father. And I love Gary Raymond because he was in one of my favorite TV shows called The Rat Patrol, where he played Sergeant Jack Moffat. Right? You remember The Rat Patrol? Now, I love The Rat.
The hat. I remember the hat, the guy with the hat, and them being in the desert all the time. Yeah,
They were on those jeeps. They would be like shooting with the machine guns. They were always looking for gas and water. It's out there in the desert. Two little jeeps shooting up Germans. I loved it.
yeah.
And they were getting chased by Victor Newman from Young and the Restless. He was
Mhm,
chasing them all the time.
mhm. He had
So
his real name then, but okay.
he was like Captain Heinrich's Hout or something like
Somebody
that.
he was a bitch
Dietrich, the
too.
major, but he was a cool German. Sometimes he let him go, but I mean, the Rat Patrol was my jam. I love that show.
I liked it better than Combat. To
Oh
tell you,
yeah, oh yeah.
yeah,
Rat Patrol was the show.
yeah.
But my father had fought in North Africa, so he would sometimes watch that with me.
Okay.
Yeah, so if Daddy was going to be in I'm like, turn it to the Rat Patrol because he'll watch. So, but Gary Raymond also made a movie called El Cid with Charlton Heston, and
Okay.
Look Back in Anger with Richard Burton, and he is still alive, Gary Raymond.
Is
So
he?
yes, he is. I think he's 92 now, but he is still alive. Sergeant Moffat. Or
Okay.
he was British. And so Gary Raymond, we go to the number 2 position, Christopher George, who played Sergeant Sam Troy. Girl, he had that Australian hat. Look, you can't even
Yeah.
tell me nothing about the Rat Patrol. Love that show. So Christopher George also has the honor, I don't know if it's an honor, of playing the man in a movie called Foxy Brown. He is the white man, the man.
The man. He's the man.
Yeah. So Christopher George, who ends up playing a lot of bad guys. He played a lot of bad guys in John Wayne movies, and then he goes into blaxploitation and he plays. He's got that voice, I guess. I don't know why they always have him in some bad guy movie, but Christopher George, he is in the 2nd position, and now that gets us to the 3rd position with our girl from Winston-Salem, North Cackalack, Miss Pam Grier. You know, I'm going to Pam. Yes, Pam Grier is in. She is Foxy Brown.
Yes.
And she's also Coffee, and she's also Jackie Brown, which she was robbed by not getting an Academy Award nomination for that. And I'm still not ever forgiving anybody for not nominating Jackie Brown for that. I don't know how you didn't nominate Pam Grier for that movie, but anyway,
I think that was his best movie, but I
think it was one of her best performances ever. She also was in the TV series This Is Us, and she also made the movie Just Right with Queen Latifah, and she's in Smallville. So, and Pam, of course, is still alive and well and kicking and looking just as beautiful as she did.
Looking good.
So that takes us to the 4th position. And this is one of my favorite names that I could come up with. When I saw this, I was so excited. And in the 4th position, we have the man that played Foxy Brown's poor murdered boyfriend, Terry Carter.
Oh, Terry.
That man was fine. That man was fine.
I'm not.
If you do not remember who Terry Carter is, go back to the original Battlestar Galactica. He was Colonel T. He was Colonel T with Lauren Green. So if you go over to the original Battlestar, that is Terry Carter, black man. And the reason why I love Terry Carter is because he is one of the first black anchors in the United States. And the TV station that hired him was WBZ in Boston, Massachusetts, because we turned on the weekend news and there was Terry, man is too handsome Carter. We were like, what is happening? What is happening? 1965 Boston? So that's how fine this brother was. They hired him.
He was fine.
At WBZ. And so he is listed as the first black anchor in America. And he also was the weekend anchor, so he did the movie reviews. So some of the first movie reviews I ever heard in my life was done by this black man, Terry Carter. And that's why I love him. I love Terry Carter. Terry Carter, Battlestar Galactica, WBZ, weekend anchor. So you take Terry Carter, we go, he just died this last December. He just passed away.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, rest in peace, Mr. Carter. I mean, one of my favorite guys. He was in a lot of shows. He was also in another one, which is going to get us to the 5th position. And it was a TV series called McCloud, starring Dennis Weaver. Dennis Weaver is in our 5th position. Yes, Chester from Gunsmoke. But I'm not bringing him in as Chester from Gunsmoke. I'm bringing him in as Sam McCloud.
That was crazy. That was crazy. It was funny. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but maybe it was. But it was hilarious to me.
He was hilarious to me too. And so Terry Carter played, Sergeant Joe Broadhurst
on that.
To Dennis Weaver's. Yeah, Terry was on that show for 7 years. He did Battlestar Galactica. Terry was in some long-standing TV shows. He was on television for a lot of, not doing this episodic here and there. You see him every now and then. My boy was landing some roles. And I just want to shout Terry Carter out for real. And so Dennis Weaver comes in as Sam McCloud in the 5th position. And that is going to bring us to the woman who played Sam McCloud's girlfriend, Chris Coughlin. She was kind of like Susan Spencer for Hire. She was like the rich girl that fell for the cowboy. And I used to love her in the show. The one, the only, the 3-time Star Trek appearances, Diana Muldaur. Diana Muldaur, and we get to Star Trek. Yes, we get to the only person that played 3 doctors and 3 appearances on Star Trek. She played Dr. Miranda Jones in what is it, A Rose by Any Other Name? No.
the ugly alien.
Right. Yeah.
But I can't think
Yeah,
of the
where
name.
Spock goes blind. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that was such a good episode. Well, she
Mhm.
plays Dr. Miranda Jones. She comes back again in Tomorrow Return to Tomorrow, where she plays Dr. Ann Newhall, astrobiologist, who switches her body with these ancient guys that are in like this big
Yeah.
freaking bubble down in the basement there. They're like, wow,
Mhm.
that was a wild one. So she got Spock and Kirk. All right, go on, my girl.
Mhm.
Go on, my
Mhm.
girl. And had something to say to Picard because she plays Dr. Catherine Pulaski in the second season of TNG. So
Mhm.
our star today in 6 Degrees to Star Trek is the one and only Deanna Moldauer, who is also
Yeah.
still alive, still beautiful,
Still alive.
and yes, and I love her very much. I even watched her in L.A. Law, where she
Oh
ended
yeah.
her life.
But she, oh, that was she didn't know she was ending her life though, because I watched LA. She fell down that elevator shaft. You gotta
One of
go.
the best ways I've ever seen a character go out of a show. She went
Right.
down the elevator shaft.
Just went on that because nobody could stand it anyway. But we didn't know she was going out like that.
Did not know at all. I was so upset. I was so upset.
Oh, and she did. Yeah, she did. She fell down the elevator shaft.
She was, you're right, Yvette. She was salty in that. She was salty in Star Trek. She was, and so I was so happy because Diana Muldaur is one of my favorite actors. I just think she is so absolutely beautiful, and she
Yes.
was beautiful in when she played Miranda Jones. I mean that's one of the performances, and that dress she had on, the netting, and I mean I love that episode. Just all kinds of crazy things going on. And what was Carlos, Ambassador Carlos from what was his planet? He could navigate into anywhere. Oh my god, I love them. I love them. I mean, we finally get them in Prodigy again. The Medusans, yes, yes, the Medusan.
Yeah, the Medusans. Yeah. The crazy.
Oh man,
Yeah. You talking about
I
the
was
guy
so
crazy?
glad when they brought them back. I was so glad when the Medusans got brought into Prodigy. I was like,
It was pretty
yes,
cool. It was pretty cool.
yes. So so that is it. That's our show. We are going from the classic Jason and the Argonauts, one of the greatest action films ever made, and actually a very serious kind of plot there with some ethical dilemmas and some
Mhm.
stories about feminism, and they were actually saying some things in this.
In 1963.
Yeah, yeah, they had some points to make. So I found that very interesting that I had missed that as a kid. So anyway, so thank you all for watching tonight. Joel, thank you for suggesting doing a movie with Ray Harryhausen, who is definitely one of the big names of Hollywood. Everyone has been influenced by this man. Everyone has seen a movie that has something to do with Ray Harryhausen. And if you haven't, how are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? So, anyway, thanks for being part of this amazing community. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, like, and ring the bell so you don't miss our great guests and sci-fi movies. Want to get your brand in front of our passionate, movie-savvy audience? Sponsor CinnCin Goes SyFy as a unique chance. Sponsoring CinnCin Goes SyFy is a unique chance to connect with loyal consumers who love sci-fi and insider insights from directors, screenwriters, and fans. Whether you're a small business or an individual, it's a great way to reach an engaged community. Click the link in the show description or visit sci-fi sisters.com/sponsors to learn more. Fran, as usual, thank you, my dear, for going back in time with me to when we were little girls with our little brothers
And our
watching
brothers.
huge movies.
No. And we didn't know they were huge until we got grown, right? But they were.
Now we knew this was the shit. We knew
Oh,
this was the shit.
we knew they were huge, but we didn't know the
Yeah, we didn't
bones
know.
of them.
We didn't know
When we
how
look
big,
back, yes.
and we didn't know how much this was going to influence Star Trek. Because I
We
think both Queen of Outer Space and
and
all three movies that you've done with me, Forbidden Planet, Queen of Outer Space, and I now think Jason and the Argonauts were all
yes,
influential in Star Trek episodes. I really
yes.
do.
Because it's like we looked at them. Okay, that's so and so episode. That's so and so episode. So
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, and whose ship was the Hera? Okay, just so make sure. Silver LaForge, Captain Silver LaForge, her ship was called the Hera. I'm just throwing that out there. Just another
Okay,
Easter egg.
just throw it
Okay.
out there.
All right, that's enough. All right, we gotta go. Thanks everybody for listening. Bye bye.